Hi everyone, it's Dave here, and finally I'm doing one of my videos where there's a note of optimism running through it. I do believe in being authentic all the time, and every time I do a video I like to project how I'm feeling. Well, today I'm feeling optimistic, which is a sensation and a feeling that I've not had for a long time. Not massively optimistic, but there's certainly an optimistic slant on things for me at the moment, and I'm feeling a little bit more hopeful. So before I carry on, if you do like my content, then feel free to subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Hit the notification bell so that you receive a notification anytime I upload a video. So overall, you know what my thoughts are on the state of society at the moment, about how I think society's been reconditioned largely to behave very unusual ways, how there's an economic collapse impending, and also how we have a larger number of people have been successfully manipulated to look upon their health in a very bizarre and myopic way. However, alongside that, I have observed over the last couple of months a growing number of people displaying, at the very least, a sense of skepticism about some of the measures that are being imposed and the things that we've been asked to do. More people questioning things, and more people starting to realise that a lot of what's happened in 2020 just simply doesn't add up. So I have been out the last couple of days. I've just been for a walk today, and then I went for a little drive around as well, drive to the shops, and I am seeing families out together, 3 generations of family walking the streets, grandparents holding hands with the grandkids. I'm seeing whole families going into houses. And it lifts the spirits, because that is perfectly normal behaviour. And for people to be reconnected in this way, for families to be reconnected, for friends to be reconnecting, and even more importantly, for people to start questioning the government and media narrative that has been absolutely and relentlessly indoctrinated into people in the last 8 to 9 months. Now, I've commented on many occasions how I've been astounded at the lack of anger about what's gone on in our country. And I still am angry about it, and how I've not really seen enough questioning, enough challenging about some of the really immoral stuff that's going on and what it says about us as a society. Now, I know that as a country, the British traditionally remain calm. The whole muss and grumble type of attitude. My take on that was, yeah, okay, if you're in really tough times, absolutely, just grit your teeth and get on with it. Absolutely. However, I feel that we've been complicit in destroying good times and creating bad times. And I do still think that we have a lot of trouble ahead, and we're storing up a lot of trouble for ourselves, particularly in an economic and a health sense. However, if the British way of dealing with this is to put up with it for so long and then slowly and quite subtly just start ignoring rules, fair enough if that's what it takes. I do think still that we need a bit more of a push and a bit more of a pushback, and a bit more of an outward kind of expression in the population that no, we will no longer put up with these rules and restrictions that have been imposed upon us without our input. So I am feeling more optimistic, because it is clear that this lockdown is completely different from the first lockdown, and that is because clearly more people are either fed up of it or are questioning the morals and the ethics of it. Maybe realising that the reason we're being asked to do the things that we've been asked to do does not justify, the ends certainly do not justify the means, which is, again, notwithstanding the fact that the virus is on the resurgence to a significant degree. It's about quality of life, not quantity of life. It's about realising that sometimes, nature will throw threats at us. It will do. If you go whole generations without facing an existential threat, that's a statistical anomaly. If we have to deal with this, we have to deal with it. We should never have shut down society. We should never have accepted the restrictions on our personal liberties that we did accept en masse. And I think people now are starting to realise that if they weren't fully duped, certainly they were lied to an extent, and continue to be as well. And I think if more and more people realise that they've been subjected to propaganda and indoctrination that is absolutely unacceptable, then that's a good thing. So yes, I'm feeling more optimistic. if we get to a point where the British people, to a large extent, start saying, no, now is the point, enough is enough, there is a different way of doing this, then excellent. I think it's going to be interesting next to see what the conversation around the vaccine is, or the lack of conversation around the vaccine, because let's not forget there was no conversation around how do we deal with this virus, certainly not reflected in the media. No conversation around whether the lockdown was the right thing to do. And it already was starting to see, I'm detecting from the media and from government messaging as well, that if you don't get this vaccine, then you're selfish. The same old thing, you're a granny killer, you're selfish, you don't care about the health of others. No, I would say if there's ever a situation where a government is hammering home a message and saying, we know what's best for your health, that is the time to have a conversation. Governments never know what is best for citizens' health. Never. Okay, so there needs to be a broad and nuanced and detailed and respectful conversation around this vaccine and around the mass testing that's being rolled out. Not just a blind acceptance that what we're being told is the thing to do. Absolutely not. Governments do not know what is best for the health of their citizens. Citizens and individuals who have contracted their health out to a large degree to the government, if they're realising now that is not the way to be healthy, actually, the way to be healthy is to inject into the conversation around health in general, traditional ways of staying healthy and having a healthy immune system, getting sunshine, getting fresh air, exercising, eating well, not drinking too much, etc., etc., etc. That doesn't mean there doesn't have to be a conversation around this impending vaccine. But the conversation needs to include, okay, what is the risk versus reward of the vaccine? What's in the vaccine? What's the agenda behind the vaccine, if any? I'm not saying there is. I personally think there is. But I want to have a conversation around it. Who's making money out of it? What are the risks associated with this vaccine? And what are we going to get out of it? And the absolutely crucial question, will we be exchanging our freedoms in order to get this vaccine? Which is an absolutely essential conversation to have, because freedom, as I have said many times before, does not come for free, and you certainly don't sell aspects of your health in order to have permission from a government who doesn't have the right to say whether you're free or not to get your freedom. So that's going to be interesting next, but I think we're in a better place, a healthy amount of cynicism in a society when it comes to government, especially when a government which has massive and scarily amounts of power, as it does at the moment. And media as well is a very, very healthy state of affairs, not just blindly accepting what we're told. So, feeling optimistic today, a little bit more faith in people and humanity, and it's raised my spirits to see families together again, which is what they should be. Families should be together. We all need each other. People, human beings, we're not designed to be atomized and to exist as individuals within a broader society. No. We need other people in order to be able to thrive and in order to be fulfilled and to be happy. So that's good. And I'm feeling a bit better. So that's my message for today. Finally feeling optimistic. And it feels great to be able to do one of these videos where I'm feeling a bit happier. All right then. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.